Hey YouTube family and GN subs, I'm going to do a substantive video today on TPS. TPS is a wonderful way to adjust your status in the United States and pick up your green card here. If you're one of the 1.2 million individuals in the United States on temporary protected status, this video is absolutely important for you because you can figure out how to get in legal status even if you enter the country illegally and you're here illegally now. I will demonstrate to you how under existing laws under TPS, you can obtain legal status and get a green card in the US. Hey, my name is Humberto Gray, and those of you who are new to the channel, you can get me at hrg@graylaw.com. I have tons of content in my library that's organized. It's great, frequently asked questions, videos that are organized. So yeah, hey, go to my library and check it out. Get some wonderful tips on immigration law. And yeah, we got a lot to get to today on TPS, so let's get at it. All right, so TPS is very important. TPS is a law enacted by Congress. What does that mean? That means it's not an executive order with the president and the executive branch. This means Congress promulgated rules regarding TPS. And what is it? TPS is where there's a disaster in a certain country, where there's armed conflicts and hostilities overseas, and you're living in a place where it's chaotic, like Haiti, where there are abnormal emergencies in a certain country. The president can authorize a country as a designated country, and an individual can receive what's called TPS, temporary protected status. What does this mean? This means they can work in the United States legally. This means they cannot be removed from the United States, can't be deported. It means they have safe haven in the US. Now, what's the difference between DACA and TPS? Really important distinction here. Again, TPS is law. TPS is enacted by Congress, who has plenary power. DACA was an executive decision that was issued allowing individuals to be here in the United States legally with work permits, etc. But it is an executive branch decision. It's not Congress. Congress, under TPS, gives authority to the president, okay? Big difference, big distinction, and I'll tell you why. Very important if you look at the differences between the two, all right? Okay, so what I've done, I've provided you with some important information on this TPS, right? I put two links in the description box below. One is from the Library of Congress. It's going to give you like an overview background of TPS. Number two, I'm going to give you a direct link to USCIS that talks about TPS, the 16 countries that are designated for TPS, and the 1.2 million individuals who are currently in the United States under TPS, all right? Useful information and links for you. All right, so let's get to the meat of this. I'll tee this up for you. So I have a client who entered the country illegally. He was here from a designated country. Years ago, he applied for TPS, right? He hadn't traveled at all. He's remained in the US. So I filed for an employment-based labor certification, not a family-based petition, but an employment-based petition. And so I got the case approved. Now, at that point, was he eligible to adjust his status in the United States under 245A? No, because he did not have a legal inspection and admission, okay? Now, there was a recent Supreme Court case in 2022, and again, I put a link in the description box below here, where you can go to the USCIS recent policy on this issue with regard to adjustment in 245A. Really important stuff here. So my client wasn't eligible to adjust because he didn't have a legal inspection and admission. That's required to adjust under 245A. So what did I do? I said, look, here's what you can do. TPS allows advance parole. That means you can get authorization to travel prior to leaving the US and you can re-enter the United States, all right? Now, here's the important point. So the Supreme Court had a recent decision. The Supreme Court said, no, when you re-enter on TPS, it is not an inspection and admission for purposes of 245 because USCIS has not provided in its policy that it is an inspection and admission. So what did Mayorkas do? Mayorkas put out this memo. And again, I put a link in the description box below. You can go ahead and read it. And it says clearly, when you re-enter the United States on advanced parole, TPS, you are eligible to adjust status in the United States. It is a lawful inspection and admission. So what I did was I had my client travel on the TPS, re-enter the U.S. I had the approval of the I-140. I changed his status to permanent resident status in the U.S. because he was lawful at that point. So if you are on TPS, don't be afraid to get the advanced parole. It's really important. Get the advanced parole, travel, re-enter, and you will be in legal status, okay? Very important stuff here. All right, also a new development in TPS. There is a case that's going to expire January 2025. If you are in removal proceedings and you have TPS, you can ask the trial attorney to join in and terminate proceedings, dismiss proceedings, so you can get out of removal proceedings. Very important. They will terminate your case and it will be over with, but you have to do this before January of 2025. Again, so if you are on TPS under removal proceedings, request that that case be terminated and dismissed. All right, one other thing on TPS, there are strict rules for re-registration. Usually you have TPS status for only 18 months, whereby it's reauthorized by the executive branch, by the president, but there's certain rules. If you go to the TPS website, USCIS, type in TPS, you go to it, you will see dates for registration and re-registration. You cannot miss those. If you are on TPS, you must file for your extension on time. They are providing now with the receipt a 540-day automatic extension period, which is awesome. So yeah, you need to file on time to get that 540-day automatic extension. So this video, for those of you who are on TPS, I hope it was helpful. Please click below, like and subscribe, become a good news subscriber. I bring good news all the time, updates weekly. So hey, you can get me at hrg@graylaw.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.